Hi, I'm Glenn Bosley Mitchell, and it's my wife, partner Gay Bosley Mitchell, and we're talking about the so-called Marriage Protection Amendment that banner headlines in the paper today says gay marriage ban, and it's actually pretty offensive in that sense that we need to put into the Constitution discriminatory language against people. I think that we have marriage protection part of our state laws, and I don't think we need a constitutional amendment. I also am really concerned about what it does for other folks. I mean, there are young folks that do live together without being married. There are senior citizens that have arrangements where they are living together, or they're not married for lots of reasons. Maybe children don't want that, or they have social security issues. I can just imagine somebody being at the hospital and the intensive care unit wouldn't let a partner in because, no, you're not a husband or you're not a wife. You're not legally that, and so we wouldn't let you in, and that person dies without their partner, friend, family being there.
Well, and part of that issue for me also is that other states have done this. Other states have passed these types of amendments, and what they've found later on is that the courts nullify anything else that even remotely looks like marriage. So it ends up hurting everyone, and it's intended to be hurtful for gay couples, which I have a really hard time with. I think that that's absolutely wrong. But on the other hand, it doesn't do anything positive for anyone. And it just seems to me to be a hurtful amendment. Gay marriage is already illegal in the state of Florida. We don't need a constitutional amendment to change that. I would like to see that change at some point, but now is not the time, and this is not the way to be able to fight that battle. It's entirely unfair, and in other states, all kinds of domestic partnership relationships have been threatened, and health care benefits and all of that get lost, and that affects straight couples as well as gay couples. And it just seems to me that we don't need any sort of discriminatory statements added to our Constitution in any way.
As a heterosexual woman, I find this amendment to be wasteful. It's a waste of my money, it's a waste of my time, and it's redundant. Gay couples can't get married under Florida law as it stands. There's no reason to amend our state constitution to specifically deny a group of people rights.
I'm interested in the news in today's paper about the ban on gay marriage. I am interested in finding out more about it because I have friends in both worlds. And one of the things I found in further reading is that inasmuch as marriage is the legal union of only one man and one woman as husband and wife, no other legal union that is treated as marriage or the substantial equivalent thereof shall be valid or recognized. That's very, very confusing, and I find it amazing that this is something that is proposed to change our Constitution of the state of Florida. I've been a resident of Florida for a long while, and I like to think of Florida with pride. This is a frightening step to me, and it's a step of misunderstanding rather than a step towards love and caring and welcoming the fact that we are a diverse state, we're a wonderful state, we have several climate areas and so on. Why we can't have love and peace among our friends and our neighbors. I pray that this divisive action will be smashed. I hope that things that are important to our freedom and our democracy will prevail. Good luck in the mission.
The other aspect that really angers me is that this is purported to come from a Christian basis, that it's our fundamental Christian values that say that gay marriage is wrong and that people are bending over backwards to keep gay marriage from becoming legal. My husband and I are both Christian pastors, and we feel very strongly that this is inappropriate, it's hurtful, and it is not what Jesus would do. And it angers me that the religious right in the Christian faith seems to have a claim on what are Christian values. And as far as we are concerned, we believe that the relationships that God loves and supports are those that are nurturing and supportive and committed relationships, regardless of who's in those relationships. And some of those are not always marriages. Some of them are what we would now legally call domestic partnerships. And I believe that we need to affirm every monogamous romantic relationship, and we need to encourage people to commit their lives to each other. And taking away what legal benefits they would have and limiting the language associated with those relationships is inappropriate and, in my opinion, unchristian.
It was interesting this week. We were talking to some folks as they were going to vote, and I love the comment one woman talked about is they make a farce out of marriage. Who wants to marry a millionaire? Making a TV show out of just marrying anybody, and it's just like we want to condemn a monogamous, loving relationship and make it all about money, and that marriage is okay, but a marriage between persons, or a relationship between persons that are not married is inappropriate.
Both gay and straight.
Right. I am also very, very concerned about the sense of putting this into the Constitution with the requirement of a 60%, and it's like we have no trust in our legislators who can make laws we have to put this prohibition into the Constitution. It's not appropriate for constitutions to be taken away rights. I think the Constitution says is a restriction on the government as to what rights you take away from the people. Again, I am, as a pastor, more times I've experienced senior citizens in relationships, and I am really afraid of what this kind of amendment will do to their rights to health care and rights to visit one another in the hospital, or if you have a relationship that's not marriage, and the hospital by law says, well, you can't come into the ICU because you're not a husband or a wife. And those prohibitions, I hate to say it, but I think senior citizens need to be scared about what this kind of an amendment can do to relationships. I have lots of folks that are not married for lots of reasons, and this is going to be a prohibition that's going to hurt them.
So all in all, we would just like to encourage people to really think about what this amendment says, and to think past the promotion of it as a protection of marriage and see it for what it really is. It is a fearful, hurtful, hateful attempt to discriminate against one group of people, and in reality, it hurts all of us.